The man crazily used a knife to carve at the door, and the falling wood chips only made him more excited. The speed at which he carved increased, but just in the next second, the man suddenly heard the sound of metal clashing. It turned out that inside the door was a metal brace. It was impossible to open it with just human strength. At the same time, after the metal plate was hit, it triggered the anti-theft mechanism. The system in the room malfunctioned. The temperature rapidly rose. Soon sweat soaked through his clothes. What made things worse was that all the water sources in the room were cut off. Helpless, the man could only rush to the swimming pool, but as he grabbed some water to drink, he suddenly spit it out. It turned out that disinfectant had been added to the water, making it undrinkable. Helpless, the man ran to the fish tank, but the water in the tank smelled rancid and was undrinkable. As time passed, the rising temperature in the room made him feel dizzy. Helpless, he could only run to the fridge, hoping to find some coolness. But then, he suddenly noticed that there were still some ice scraps left here. Although there wasn't much, it felt like an oasis in the desert for him. After licking the ice scraps clean, the man felt a brief sense of relief. But just as he was about to search for food to replenish his energy, he realized that the food was almost gone. So he set his sights on the sealed storage room. He immediately took out a crowbar and pried open the storage door. What was inside made him overjoyed. There was a large amount of food stored inside, but before he could rejoice for long, the sound of dripping water suddenly came from outside. The man hurriedly ran out to check and found that the irrigation spray pipe had sprayed water. He quickly dropped to the ground, swallowing the precious water. With enough water and food, the man sat on the coffee table thinking of a way to escape. But then, he suddenly noticed the skylight above him. After thinking for a moment, the man brought over several pieces of furniture and stacked them on top of each other. After tightly tying them together with a rope, he carefully climbed up. He shook the highest cabinet with all his might, ensuring that he wouldn't fall. But due to the insufficient height, he had to find more furniture. Then he tore down the curtains, tied the furniture-based platform even more firmly, and stood on it to strike the skylight with force. But to his surprise, the skylight glass was made of bulletproof material, and the surrounding areas were sealed tightly with cement. This instantly made him feel hopeless.